Hello, today I'm going to show you, hopefully, how to add an auxiliary input into your Bose Sound Dock. If you've got one of these, which is one of the old, or the original type, they came in white and they came in black. Obviously, if you look at the size of this, there is no audio input. The only thing you can do is play your iPod on it, but of course it's a really nice sound system. So it would be quite useful to be able to plug another MP3 player in, or even the output from your computer system. So that's the plan that I'm going to do today. The first option that we have to do is to just undo the three screws here that attach the sound dock, this base plate. It's Torx number 8 screw. Hopefully you'll have one of those, otherwise screwdrivers are easy enough to pick up on eBay. We just undo those 3 screws, and from what I've been told, this just pops off. There we go. And as you can see, the ribbon connector is folded over there. Right. Just pop these 3 screws somewhere safe. Right, once this is all taken care of, I've removed this piece now as well, which is the bit that the iPod plugs into. You can just lay this down here. Now, there's a black plastic sticky on thing that you can just peel off. You need to save that for later. Put that somewhere nice and safe. Now obviously what you're going to need when you connect your MP3, you're just going to want a 3.5mm jack plug. Now I've got some cables that I use that have got a 3.5mm socket on the end of a wire, which has got, you strip them back, left and a right channel, and an earth. Now the earth is a grounded earth, and it's slightly shielded. Right, the first thing you need to do, obviously, is strip these cables back. Like so. And the best thing is, because we're soldering on such a fine, we just need to tin them. So I've already got my soldering iron up to temperature, and we'll just tin the ends of the cable, like so. So what you do, you heat the wire and then touch the copper, the solder onto it. Okay. Now you can then trim those ends off nice and neat and short. Like so. Right, I've got one of these little fandangled extra pair of hands type things. What you do is you need to count from this end, and that's pin number 1, and you count along to find your 13th pin. Now, as you might notice, I don't know if you can see it, I think you can. See, you can see these other little solder points along here. Now, it actually coincides that pin 13 is that one, you can count the pins along and then find these little blobs where the solder blobs where you can actually solder a wire into. So that's 13, that's 14, and that's 24 at the end there. You can actually follow the circuit board. I've checked it a couple of times just to make sure which one is which. You'll find number 14 is actually quite simple to find, because it's the one that's got 2 points. It's got a point up here and a point there, so that's actually quite an easy sort of space finder. Okay, what you actually need to do is now solder onto these blobs. Right, now that I've put a blob solder on, we should just be able to why do I always do things like that? We'll do the back one first. Now I've trimmed that wire, I've trimmed that off. Just need to do the same with this. Now I'm just going to solder that. Together, which now gives me a flying lead out of here that we can, I'm going to come out a little bit, just angle it out a little bit, that we can now just connect to the little blob at the other end. Now, really must get myself a better pair of wire cutters, I think. I'll just give that a tin. And just trim that off a little bit. And that we just solder down onto there. I know, sorry, this isn't the most exciting videos. It's a bit fiddly at times. It does test out your soldering skills. Right. Now, that should now give you an audio input for your sound dock. Right, now that I've connected everything up, I've got my iPod Touch, and what I'm going to do is just power this up. The way that the sound dock works is that one of these connectors along here actually has power to it, which then switches it on. So without an iPod in there, it's not actually switched on. So what I'm going to do is just plug my iPod into there. I'll just see that it powers up, okay? So it's detected it. Ooh. Just very carefully, and the good thing is we've got some sound coming out of it. Now, right, that's my iPod working. Appears to be working fine. Now what I have done, I have connected my computer to the internet. I have my local radio station coming through on this wire. It's coming out the speaker connection, and I'm now just going to press play on the computer, and hopefully we have sound coming through on here. So if I disconnect that, voila, we have audio input. We have audio input for the sound dock. Basically now through that connector we can run anything, but of course the iPod needs to be in the dock. I have heard various things. There is one particular lead. There is actually one plug connector that requires power to power the thing up. So, but at the moment I'm quite happy with the way it is. Now just to run the cable through and hide it out of the way. Right, I just found a bit of a design flaw because I used this fat wire. It wouldn't thread through properly. So what I've had to do, I've had to strip it all back. That are easier to run. And easier to hide and squidge so that they thread through properly. Right, now this, I just need to loosen these four bolts, nut screws. And then thread that, just feed this ribbon cable back down in there so that it all lines up. I'll just do those screws up. I think I might have just done them a little bit too much. Okay, thread through nicely down into here, and then what we do is pop torque screws back into there. There's one. Oh, don't say I lost one. Typical, whenever I do something like this I always end up losing one. Oh, there it is. And that one goes in there. Now you can see that the push that bit in there. Now we just want to test, and a quick test. Put the old power. So the old power's in the back. Plug the iPod in and press play. Wait a minute. Right, now we've got the iPod running. Turn that off. Hopefully get the old computer sound down.
There's free credit on everything.
And there we have
VAT. So save over 50% off thousands of beds. But hurry, up to 50% off all bed linen.
And the volume's working.
8 PM.
And there we have it. One iPod dock
at dreams.co.uk.
an auxiliary input.
For a great night's sleep.
Okay, I hope that you find this useful. Obviously, do remember that this does invalidate
or if you forgot to buy a birthday card for someone.
Cancel out your warranty with Bose, but I'm sure you'll find this a useful feature. Thank you for watching, and enjoy.